right, we live. We live at 5, baby.
Baby.
We live. All right, let's see. Take that.
I'm gonna add somebody else to my dummy of the week as well too.
I think us and the viewers would appreciate that.
Jamal Bowman.
That's the link right there. I'm also gonna put it on Facebook.
Oh,
because we old. We use Facebook. My kids tell me I'm old for using Facebook, by the way.
You are.
I can see that.
I can see that. I just found out what spamming was.
Posting something over and over again?
Huh?
Like posting something over and over again?
Like why kids create spam accounts?
Oh, because they weird.
the Gen Zers, they different.
I learned about that last year. Yeah. You got to have a family account. You got to have your friends account.
You got your spam account.
Like, is this not what the close friends feature is for? Like, well, yeah, but I got to have a whole nother account for it. Like,
just in case.
I put it on X too.
Put it on X. There we go. X. And, all right, let's get it. We'll go ahead and jump into the mission statement then, because we got a lot of building to do. Okay, let's see. It's a little toasty up in here. So the Be Alike podcast mission statement: we are the #1 mentorship for mindset development, career essential education, and leadership cultivation. We're authentic. We like to be positive, build a light within you guys, respect all sex, race, religion, political views, and preference. And we like to have a great sense of humor, like to have fun, like to have a good time, like to love on people, like to help people, because this podcast is aimed at helping individuals become their better selves through unlocking the light within. These gentlemen are all well-studied, very intelligent, very hardworking, and model citizens, if I don't say so myself, including myself. And welcome back to the Be Alike podcast. It's your boy, K.Sloan. I'm here with the homies.
J.Jones.
J.Jones. You got the brain.
Eagles still undefeated.
Eagles still undefeated, and I don't know why you said that. Didn't really matter, but then we got MrliftN'Go. If you know, you know.
No, gotcha.
That part. So we all here. MrliftN'Go, you look like you're a little sleepy though. You good?
Yeah, I need to get a little bit.
Yeah. There we go. There you go. He's here. He's with us. All right. So what's going on in the world? What we got going, y'all?
The clouds are moving west.
Okay.
Okay, Sensei, what's that mean?
The day is going by, as the sun and the clouds, they go west. Because if they go east, then that means a storm is coming. But if it's just a regular day, everything going west.
Meteorologist.
I know y'all think I'm BS, but
no. I know you being.
That's facts. I already know. Rise in the east, sets in the west. Nah, you giving us that geographical game. Yeah.
Oh, but if you got a storm coming, big storms move east.
For real?
I'm gonna start paying attention now. Look, I don't even be looking like I'm gonna be looking like, oh, the mountains.
I can't debate him on that one right now. So
that boy gave us that elder knowledge. That elder knowledge.
I can tell you the direction of the wind.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Keeping his word on that one.
Yeah. The Marcus don't need a compass in life.
He know what he doing. He know what he doing. Nah, man, I wanted to get into it, man. Let's hop into it, because there's some stuff going on out here in the world, man. Let's kind of get into my little fun topic real quick. You know what I'm saying? My fun topic. So, like, if it had to go down, right, and all out brawl had to just happen, like, you know what I'm saying, between two fan bases. Right now, I'm looking at two fan bases right now. I'm looking at Taylor Swift and the Swifties, and I'm digging right. This may be a reach, but Beyonce and the Beehive, who's winning in an all-out brawl to the death?
You
Just listen to
topic of that.
Easy money. I already know. I got my money on the
You said,
Beehive.
who is it?
The Beehive aggressive.
Yeah, listen to the names.
They got real killers out there, Sloan.
Real killers.
They got real killers.
They probably ain't talking. They probably ain't talking either. They ain't talking. What's it?
No. Killers, gorillas. Hey, even at her concert, when she did her little mute challenge, if you didn't shut up, they on your head.
Oh, they had fights. They had fights break out just because of that.
Yes, the Swifties ain't moving. They ain't moving like that, man.
Well. The
Swifties moving money.
Yeah, they moving money. The Swifties know how to organize. We need to take notes from the Swifties. They know how to organize.
The Swifties gonna hire the Beehive.
Hey, DeMarcus, what you say about how much money they made the Chiefs in
They made that man $3 million in one day just by buying his jersey.
Man, but you don't think that's something that
Taylor Swift at the game? They
well?
didn't even know if they was really dating yet.
I know. What if they not?
She was just at the game. This could all be a publicity stunt. Like she was just at the game.
Bro, it didn't matter.
Okay, listen to this. Now I heard this on a sports radio show, and I heard it again on the little political podcast I listened to. They have to get a security detail, like she's a freaking president, just for her to go to the football game. A security detail for her, just for her to go to a football game, like she a top politician or president. Bro, and that's no lie. She has that much pull on this earth.
She don't need to be a politician or anything. She pretty powerful.
She definitely
pretty powerful. So
when did it happen though? Like when did Taylor Swift get this type of like prominence over America?
For a long time, bro.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift been out for a minute.
You remember when she was she was 19 years old when Kanye said what he said about it.
Yeah.
19 years old. That was what? Probably 10, 12 years ago.
And that probably helped elevate her too. Up into that. And then once she started really.
Yeah, we recognized who she was when Kanye did that. So you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's real. That's real. I just know my kids, man. I remember I was telling my story on Facebook. I told everybody a status, and I was like, man, the little girl, she asked me, she said, because I told everybody, I was like, hey, y'all, write about your favorite genre and tell me why it's your favorite genre. So everybody gets to write, and then one of my kids stopped and she's like, Mr. Sloan, is Taylor Swift a genre? And I was like,
wow.
I just looked at her. I was like, you serious, right? She was serious. She was like really like confused. Like she was like, I just don't know. Is she a genre? And the whole class was like, nah. Like,
I have a question. Is the Beehive, is the Swifties? Who's third? Is it Drake?
Like OVO? They don't have a name. So
they don't have a name yet, but are they have a fan? He has
I'd say if I'm looking at fan bases, like that's like wild like that, I would say Travis's fan base just because.
Well, they're different.
They are very different.
They hum.
But the shirts ripped. Just walk around like zombies. Like they Michael Jackson band album type fans. They like yeah.
Those are the words of K.Sloan. I have a family.
What's up?
He said he ain't part of that.
He ain't part of that. Hey, no, they definitely different. I don't know. There's some fan bases that's pretty wild, but I think it's kind of interesting when you look at the social dynamic of how groups work. Like when it comes to fan groups.
I wonder who touched for now. This just shows you the reach of Michael Jackson and the people of that era, because now they got the internet and everything. But is anybody as worldwide as Taylor Swift and Beyonce? Because they are in different genres. They're in pop. They're in
Beyonce spills in a little bit to pop, but she's R&B.
R&B, but Taylor Swift touches that too.
I think I can't think of his name right now.
Ed Sheeran?
No. He does. He's a Mexican rapper, but he's
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. He up there.
He Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican.
Sorry, my bad. Puerto Rican. My bad for anybody. And then I think
Is he
Drake
worldwide like that, though?
Who, Bad Bunny? Yeah.
Bad Bunny up there. Bad Bunny up there.
He's definitely
Yeah.
But
And then Drake
Drake
does the pop and all that other stuff too. He does genres, and he even did some. I guess it was reggaeton. I don't know what Drake does everything. So
Drake do grind.
Yeah.
Drake's a follower. He's a follower of trends. So all his followers as well. Whatever's hot, the whole OVO fan.
It's working for him though. It's working for him. I saw something the other day that said he's like one number one hit away from tying Michael Jackson for the most all time.
Yeah, he is. He got one more. Yep.
So yeah,
I think he surpassed the Beatles.
Yeah, you can't hate on that.
Well, you can't hate on that, and I think just like I think it's interesting to see how these artists, who they create themselves to be, because they create these personas and these figures, and it seems like the fan base kind of models themselves around that. So, I mean, I think it can be used for powerful, positive things and negative things. So, I mean,
before we leave this topic, and I don't know much about all artists, a little older, but I do know, the Michael Jacksons and the Princes of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that these artists, Drake, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, Scott, whoever, like, are they authentically being their self and just making it like that, or is it a persona that they're presenting to just monetize?
In my opinion, I feel
Drake
like
is monetized.
I feel like everybody's monetized. It has to be monetized to a certain degree.
It's got to be a combination of the two. Like, you have to give people a show. You have to give somebody something to buy. At the end of the day, it's not just the music.
Yeah,
I think Drake is the most monetized. I think he uses, like we just said, whatever trend is on. I think Drake and Beyonce now too, because her music went from like real music to like this elevator saying the same thing over and over thing. So whatever's hot, I think the artists kind of follow that trend. So yeah.
I mean, you gotta think about who pays your bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like you are an artist, you serve the people, you serve the fan base. If your fan base is looking for something and you're not serving that and you're not giving them that, they're gonna go elsewhere. They're gonna shop elsewhere. So,
but they're able to drop an album without promotion. That's powerful.
But that's what I'm saying. Like because they trust your brand. You've built a brand now. So you built a brand that I trust. I trust Beyonce. I trust Drake. I trust Taylor Swift. So when they drop something, I almost can predict kind of what I'm gonna get. And if I don't get it, the shock factor might even create more sales than anything else. Just because I trust this brand so much that now the pivot is something that we now believe in as well. Like we believe in whatever it is, even if we hate it. We still believe in it because you tried it. And then, it might not work twice, but they mastered it, bro. They monetize it for sure. Definitely. But I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, man. The Swifties and them Beehive folks. I mean, I've never been a fan like that. I've never been like a diehard of anything. I mean, I'm a fan of things, but not like a diehard.
That is true. I might be a diehard to a certain extent to the Cowboys, but to be that fanatic about anything, I don't think I am either.
That's why I was about to say, I think we used to be with the Cowboys, but now we to the point. You and I can watch a Cowboy game, and the Cardinals last week, it's almost like, whatever. Back in the day, I think we were more fans, but now we like
the whole week. You right?
Yeah, it used to piss me off. Now I'm like, whatever. Now, I'm more of a college football fan now. To tell you the truth, I don't know what happened, but yeah.
I enjoy watching college football in general, though. Now, like this is the college sports. Really, I enjoy pride, school pride, seeing it in action, seeing rivalries and stuff like that. I think that part is kind of cool to me. But all right, let's get into it, man. So, what I wanted to bring up kind of before we got into like the mental side of things, it was what do you guys notice? And I mean, we could kind of have like a little round robin on this and just kind of bust it down and break it down in our own ways. But do you guys notice the entitlement that's kind of going around nowadays? Somebody getting mad text messages too. Somebody getting that thing on silent. But y'all notice the entitlement, the pride, that's kind of in today's culture. And y'all think that there's a way to get away from that as a culture. And I'm just saying that from the side of like seeing like when I watch sports, I feel like there ain't no more dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's nobody like if I watch a basketball game, which it's not basketball season, but when I was watching basketball, there wasn't many players that wasn't able to shoot real well, couldn't really dribble real well, didn't really have any amazing intangibles but was playing so hard that you couldn't take them off the court. You know what I'm saying? Or like people that like like start something and like just fight like real hard to be great at it and are okay with being bad. You know what I'm saying? They're okay with sucking at it because their pride doesn't get in the way of letting them get better at things. Like, what do y'all think is maybe, or do y'all feel like that's even an issue? The reason why people feel so entitled. Like, what is the entitlement? Where's that coming from? How do we handle it ourselves? Like, what's going on with that?
Greed. Taught to sell our soul.
Huh?
That greed. We've been taught to sell our soul.
Who's teaching us that?
I think that the wealth of knowledge. Okay, I think I don't know if y'all listened to the podcast I sent you. Nate, did you listen to it?
I did. I did.
Huh? You did, Karen?
Yeah, I did.
So in that podcast, they said something very prominent to me that, like I said, it hurt me, but it was very powerful at the same time. They said they put out a narrative to teach people to go be entrepreneurs and didn't teach them the right way. They literally sent you to, a struggle mode to be broke, right? Without teaching you the right way. And that's that knowledge part. Like we run to this knowledge to get from TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and we don't research it. We don't do whatever. It's like, oh, we can do that to make money? Cool. Let me go do this to make money. The NIL deals in sports. Like, I don't even have to be a dog. I just have to have a lot of followers. I have to present a persona that I can monetize. Like we were just talking about with Taylor Swift and them. I just have something I can monetize, and then these people gonna give me money. I just listened to the thing with Shannon Sharp, and I don't even really know the girl, but I guess she's popular.
Club Show.
Brittany Renner.
Brittany Renner was talking about how she got all these deals because of the way she looks, and she doesn't even wear the stuff. You know what I mean? Like she was just doing it for money, and she could stop today, and she don't even want to play. She lost her love for soccer. She was like one of the top soccer players, and she was like, "I could do this and make money." Like it's not even a talent anymore. So I don't know where it actually stems from. I think it stems from the top, because I don't think we realize if somebody can pay you $1 million to do this, then that they're making more than that. They're not stupid. They're making more than that to get from you. But we being taught to sell our souls, man. It's like I can go this way. I don't have to listen. I don't have to research. I don't have to do this. I can do this overnight, become an overnight sensation, make all this money, and then this is going to solve all my issues in life. And the bad part about suicide rates are going up. We making more money. Suicide rates are going up.
Yeah. Another thing I've seen, just coaching in general, is people, your environment telling you that you're better than what you are.
Yes.
A lot of people's like, "Oh, you're doing great. You're killing it. Oh, you're the best receiver in the conference. You're the best," and they're really not that good. So they don't try hard. They don't practice. They don't lift weights. They don't stay after and watch film because I'm good. I don't need to practice. Even as kids, we get the participation trophies. People walk around like that's Super Bowl trophies. Like kids walk around like, "Look at my trophy. Look what I did." And it's like, you didn't play. Yeah. But just getting a trophy for nothing, for not working, makes you I don't need to work. Yeah, like why do I have to work? I got a trophy for nothing. I'm just gonna keep doing this is what life is. So
and to pin a tail on the donkey on that. And I wasn't around all of you guys, but I know Gerald knows this because we used to talk about it. Me, him, and Monte used to talk about it. Like, this is going to affect sports in a whole sense. And we were teenagers talking about this. And Gerald was younger than that. Like, this is going to affect sports down the line because you're getting a trophy for nothing. Like, how does it make you better? Like, you need to lose. You need to know what it feels, the pain of loss, so that you can go be better. So you can fine-tune your craft, your attributes, your whatever, to actually be the player, the person that you want to be, instead of somebody giving you a trophy. And that's that instant gratification that is kind of a curse right now in life.
Yeah.
I agree.
I know you as teachers see that. Like it's like they don't want to work for anything. It has perpetuated society to the point to where we are where we are now, to where you can ask that question, kid.
And before Nate, you get on it, I'm thinking in my head, like when you said as teachers, I think that, it almost makes it like criticism, which could end up being that 8th place trophy, or just, showing you didn't make it, could turn into an attack quickly. Like it could turn to somebody feeling like this is now a dangerous situation for me. I'm being attacked. Like this person doesn't have my best interest because they're telling me something no one else is telling me. And as you end up being that bad guy a lot of times. And I think that nowadays, if you really want to see real growth in people or in yourself, you have to be willing to take that unpopular opinion that's hard to hear and really just eat it. Like you got to be able to eat it and just because it's a gift, because you're not getting it a lot of places now. Like even in the workplace, like if you underperforming, they won't really tell you straight up nowadays. They'll just like sugarcoat it, and then all of a sudden one day you're gonna find yourself phased out because they found a way finally to quietly get you out the door. Like, like it's just quietly, nicely get you out of the door versus how it used to be, where it's like, hey, you messing up. Sitting down having that real talk. That's now a lost art in all of communication, I feel like. But Nate, go ahead. You can take that.
It's a lack of honesty, man. It's really everything y'all saying. It's a lack of honesty, and it's a lack of people having one self-awareness, but the ability to actually accept criticism for what it is. You need negative criticism, man. Like you do. You really need negative criticism because everybody can't be the best, right? Everybody is not top 5. Everybody is not top 500 for that matter, right? It's a lot of people doing the same thing you are. So if you can't, especially with an athlete or with a kid in school, if I can't come to you and tell you this is maybe a little bit substandard or this is subpar, whatever words you want to use for it, and you develop off of that, you never have a realistic idea of what you actually are. Like I think it's false inflation in our brains on stuff like that. You just got to be real about it. Like we have ranking systems for a reason. We look at all of these different things to put people on lists for a reason, right? Because that truly tells you how you're actually doing compared to everybody else who's doing it with you. Go back to high school sports. We have all district lists for a reason, right? If you made honorable mention all district, you really weren't that good, bro.
Or you take that district list and you say, if I feel like I'm better than honorable mention, the next year I'm gonna be first team all state. Like I'm gonna remove all doubt, and we would use it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's like something you use to drive you.
Facts. Look at what's dude play for the Lions, the receiver, St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He wrote out the 14 receivers they got drafted before him, and he can tell you everybody name, run it down the list, and tell you, really, y'all said he was better than me. He was better than me. Cool. If you got something like that that can actually drive you, I think that's where you actually get better at. But the flip side of that is you look and you say, oh, I made it to the league. I'm good. And really and truly, I think it's a hard thing to kind of overcome because at the end of the day, hey, you made it to the league, bro. You good. You really are. But is your goal to be good or to be the best? And I think that's another thing is most people don't really have that desire to be the best, really and truly. I don't think that's a realistic goal for most people. So it's really how you approach stuff.
Because being complacent is so comfortable. Yeah. That's that old thing that I heard about on,
It's comfortable, but it's also, when we talk about the money thing, like you mentioned the selling your soul to getting money, right? So how you ain't been recording the meeting the whole time?
I've been recording.
Black people. But it's what matter at the end of the day, right? Because really and truly, if somebody tell you were the best and you didn't get compensated like it, are you going to be happy?
No.
Okay. No. Now, if somebody
I'm not going to be happy.
So if somebody tell you were a little bit overrated, but you got paid like you was the top dog. Are you gonna be happy?
I'm supposed to get paid.
No. Are you gonna be happy? So if I'm
I'm not happy. I'm still not happy. No, I'm not happy. I wouldn't say happy.
Overrated, and they paid you like
if I'm overrated, right? And I do my job. I'm gonna go show you the next time I do my job.
Philosophers. Who said this? I'd rather be underrated and overpaid.
Okay. Then overpaid and underrated.
Yes, like no. I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Everything is so subjective and objective, or whatever word I need to use on that one.
Subjective, yeah.
Your opinion is your opinion at the end of the day, right? And if you look back and say, man, why does dude get this contract? I don't think he's that good. Why did Daniel Jones get paid this much money? He's not that good. We can all as football players say, dude, he's not that good. Football players, pros are saying that he's not that good. If I'm Daniel Jones, I'm gonna look at my bank account and say, so it is what it is.
Right. But most time people be hating though anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that too. Like sometimes people don't understand all the things that go into somebody getting paid what they get paid, or the rankings of any rankings list is always going to be some type of bias inside of it anyway. So you being the creator, the producer, whoever you are, you should be driven on being your best version of you that you can create so that you can keep doing and getting what you've been getting. I feel like once I start looking at how much they paying me, how much they talking about me, then at that point, then now I'm focusing on things that I can't control. I really can't control it, because if all of a sudden, like we were talking about the running back conversation, running backs are not as valuable as they once were, if they ever have been that valuable, you know what I'm saying, in the eyes of NFL owners and people that spend the money on running backs. Maybe one day we wake up and they are again. The running backs can't control that. They can control the position they play at a younger age, but when they go to the league, you just a running back. You figure what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, I think that our focus should be on our creation of our best versions of whatever it is that we doing out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's literally all you can control, like at the essence of it.
That's why running back is a good example of it though, because Pete, it was what, 2 running backs went in the first round this year?
Yes.
Yep. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's a good running back. I don't think anybody necessarily considered him a first round talent at running back.
Right.
But he got paid like one.
Got paid. Got his paper.
What matters? I don't really care what the talking heads on TV say. Yeah. I don't care what the fans say. I got paid as a first round running back. I'm good. All right. Now, is that stop working to be better? That's not what it should be. I think
but for a lot of people it is though. For a lot of people it is.
That's what happens to people though.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I can't tell you, I don't think it's a good thing, but I can't tell you that I fault people for doing that either. Because if you got paid over your worth, okay, like now I'm good. I think that's really what happens. So like
that's gambling though. That's
selling your soul.
But still, if I'm worth my first contract $25 million, if I'm good enough to make $100 million, why not make $100 million? I mean, like, I get $25 million. It's awesome. But your brain should say, oh, that's just my first contract.
You don't do that though if you feel like you hit. If you feel like you hit like you gambling and you really don't think you that good anyway, then you're gonna be like, whoo, got my bread. But
you shouldn't be playing football. You shouldn't be playing football. You shouldn't be playing any sport.
And that's the difference in mindsets. That's why when DeMarcus talk about something like how that turns into people selling their soul, it's really about the cash grab for people a lot of times. Because we know at the end of the day, 99% of the things we do is financially driven, right? So if you hit that number that you're looking for, or you hit a number that's going to change your life or your family life or whatever it is, I think that naturally changes your outlook on different things, right? I've been saying for a long time, the NFL is not about being good. It's not about being great. It's about being healthy. End of the day, right? It's really, how long can I be around? I just want to be in the mix to keep getting contracts. Even though I might not get the 10-year, $100 million deal, if I get 5 to 7, 8 years of different contracts, I'm good.
That's amongst the best players, quote unquote, in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
you ain't got to give me the gold jacket, bro. Just keep checks cashing.
But just know, every year you still in the league, there's rookies coming in that's should be better than the same types of players we saw before. So you know what I'm saying, I just feel like that, to me, that's the part where, you know, I look at these people and these workforces, these kids that just like, so I call it soft. Like I'd say watching high school football at times it disgusts me, bro. It disgusts me to watch certain teams play because I can see these players that get these 3 stars, 4 stars that's out there walking on the field, bro. It's like they like you a receiver walking on the backside of the play. You a linebacker and you get shook and then you get up and then you walk back to the. It's like, bro, like where's the sense of urgency? Where's the coaches ripping these kids? Like where is that? Where'd that go? Like what happened to that? Like where did the hard love,
parents,
gentle
parents started shielding them from all of that.
Gentle parents, huh?
Don't yell at my kid. Don't tell my kid to shut up. Don't grab my kid by his helmet. I'm suing the whole school. When we used to get punched and everything, not punched in the helmet, not punched in the in the helmet.
That's the whole environment. That's the society as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because society has chastised the parents, where a kid not knowing what test that theory now, they'll really call CPS. They'll tell their counselor at school on the parent. So now it's not the kid living in fear or respect. It's the parent living in fear or respect. It is a thin line to walk nowadays in that realm. Sometimes I'm in a mixed school system where we all, even though we weren't segregated, we still kind of came up segregated. You was in a black school, you was in a white school, you were Hispanic school. Now I'm in a mixed school, and I see my kids interact with people of different backgrounds than I grew up with, to where they may tell my kids, "Oh, that's wrong. Well, parents can't do that. You can do this. You can call this person. You can tell this." And we're getting to a point to where, with social media, information, people being soft. I mean, all this put together is becoming a detriment of our society, because kids got too much information and they don't know how to use it, so they abuse it.
What do you think?
Even in the football, even in sports, we were just talking about, huh?
Nah, I want to ask DeMarcus that, because I like what he said. Where do you think soft people got that kind of power from, DeMarcus?
It started integrating, I believe, kind of around my age range, where like we were talking about earlier, the participation trophy, and people not want to see their kids cry, or their kids not playing, or stop whooping your kids, stop being so hard on them, letting them express themselves, which I'm not taking away from that. Yes, they should express themselves. Mental health is real, but the value, the teeter-tot has started to shift more, where the weight is more towards the kids, and they don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to prosper with it. Right. They literally not
figuratively.
Yeah, right? Not figuratively, but not in a malicious way. They're just doing it because they're selfish. They don't know how to handle it. So they get this information, they get all this stuff, and it's like, oh, well, I could just do this. Y'all got kids? They got kids, and I've watched my sister's class sometimes. They got kids go to class, with vape pens. They got earphones in their ear. They got hoodies on. They don't have no respect for the teachers. They don't have no respect for their parents. They just walk that thin line.
Children are naturally ego driven. Like they until they turn 12 years old, they cannot see the world outside of themselves. Like they really struggle. And some of them, until even like 16, 17, struggle seeing the world outside of themselves. Everything's me. And even some adults deal with that, but it's really primitive when you're looking at kids. And when a kid is like that, I really need you to take me out of myself and humble me. And that's a parent's job. But when, like y'all saying, when the parents tiptoeing on creating those values within the person, then now no one does it. No one can do it. Everybody's scared to get in trouble. Everybody's scared to be too hard.
And also, I believe, just like the baby boomer age, I believe around the, was I born in the 80s? So around the 90s, early 2000s, I believe we started having that demographic to where we had younger parents, and then the isolation of single mothers and mothers coddling. I just got to tell like it is, mothers coddling their kids and not having the other half there to be the enforcer or to be that leader has also added to it. On that side, it's ignorance. It's I don't know what to do. I'm listening to this, or I don't want to lose my son here. I don't want to lose my daughter here. So you try to play the role of friend, and then you play too much of friend, and you lose that respect.
And I think this is a awesome time to kind of bring in the point. You know, we was talking about earlier when it comes to the schizophrenia. Are you hearing voices that are, you know, something that's tied to a mental illness, or are you hearing that voice of reason, the intuition? Let's talk about that a little bit, like, you know, because in regards to like, okay, trauma, they like the insecurities that come from parenting your child in a way that may be detrimental and making a soft child. I feel like when you go through a certain type of trauma where you weren't raised at all, right? Or your parents were just totally disengaged, or maybe they're just very abusive, whatever, that creates maybe some of this parenting we're talking about as well. And it really takes the point of us as adults to like come at home and do some, you know, techniques to bring yourself grounded, like to get back on the ground. I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm not reliving my childhood. This is a new child. This is a new person. Like I cannot put my views on this person. This person is not me. This is my child, but I have to give them the best version of me. And how do y'all, you know, go about that in your own lives? We are, except for Jarrell, all parent. He'll be soon a parent, I'm sure, but we're all parents. We are. He'll be a parent soon, I'm sure. I'm putting that on you. But nah, man. How do y'all feel like we can go about grounding ourselves and not, you know, getting to the point where we having those psychotic breaks, man, and you know, maybe letting that epigenetics of all the stuff we've been through in life and our ancestors been through life come through on these kids? Like, how are y'all going about it? Like, what do y'all thinking? And Jarrell, I throw it at you first, bro, because you in the mental health field. You see so many people that struggle mentally just with like daily tasks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about that?
What do I think? What was the question?
Like, how do we go about grounding? How do we go about peace back so we not, you know what I'm saying, acting out, maybe bringing ourselves to those psychotic breaks where they got to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
You know?
So I always try to, because I mean, life can be stressful. So I always, even like work stress from home stress, I try to, in the middle of that, I go to the gym or I go for a walk, or it's like I reset. So I try to reset in between my work stress or whatever you want to call it, and then my home stress or whatever. So
it's easier for you
like
than it is for them clients though. The clients you got. What you doing with them?
Oh, I thought you meant with that. Oh, with my clients, mostly with my clients, I try to with grounding techniques. I do breathing techniques. I do 5 things you can sense. So you use your senses. So you try to, what do I see? What do I hear? What do I taste? So it kind of brings you back to where you are. Like Nate always say, bring you back to where your feet are. So because a lot of my clients might say, I have a client that one time told me he was Jay-Z because we were listening to Jay-Z on the radio. And I was like, oh, you are? I said, so we're listening to your song right now? He was like, yeah, that's me. I said, oh, cool. So that song sold 5 million copies. Did you get a check for that? And it's almost like I had the reality test. It's almost like I had to test this reality until he was like, oh, dang, you're right. I'm not Jay-Z. Jay-Z's my favorite rap. You know, you just have to bring them back to where they are. It's been so many situations where I had to use. They trying to laugh. This is serious. I mean, schizophrenia, it makes you hallucinate. You really don't know what you're gonna get from somebody with schizophrenia. You just never know, because some days they can be really good, and then some type of trauma they have and some type of stress they have in their life might make them feel that their reality is different than our reality. So, I mean, if you don't even know what schizophrenia is, it's a disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. Because you might hear something, you might see something that we don't see. So, like, you might see, we have a street called Lancaster in Fort Worth, DeMarcus, you know about it. You might see people yelling at the stop sign or punching the stop sign, but their reality is that they see something they need to punch. Our reality, that's a stop sign. So schizophrenia is just something that messes with your brain. It can, it's we don't even know what causes schizophrenia right now, but it's a combination of genetics, environment, and altered brain chemistry. So my job, we just try to make sure that they're medicated properly. Um, Make sure that we do counseling session with them, like I was just talking about, kind of reality tests, bring them back to life. I mean, bring them back to reality. Treat them like normal people, because sometimes when people have schizophrenia, people they make them isolate, which is worse. When they isolate, it gets worse. So we try to help them get jobs. And I have one that has a job with schizophrenia, and he just stocks the shelves at night, overnight. If he feels like he's hallucinating a little bit, he might put in his AirPods, and that kind of brings him back to reality, because it stops the voices in his head. He's listening to music now. So it's just different ways you can go about grounding yourself when you have schizophrenia. So
I know you can't. I don't know if you have the ability to. I don't know. I don't know if you can or not. Fair question. And if you can't answer it, I'm not trying to make you answer it.
Yeah.
But where is that defining line to where you, as a professional or as your company or whatever guidelines y'all use, to be able to label schizophrenia, or are they already labeled and they come to you? Because what are the people that are okay? Because I was like people might say, God spoke to me in this way, but they really feel like they got spoken to in this way, or they were tired and they were hallucinating and they thought that it was real, or dreamed that they thought that it was real. They tried to play it out in real life. Like, is there a defining line, and how do you create that defining line without knowing where it comes from to label somebody with schizophrenia? Because that could be a very gray area for a lot of people that are watching, listening, and saying, "Do I have schizophrenia?" And then it's not really that.
It's usually when you have a psychotic breakdown, when you end up in the hospital. So we get them from the hospital. Okay. So if you have voices and it's not affecting your life, if you can sleep at night, if you can go to work and work, even if you hear voices every day, but you handling your business, it's to the point where all of my clients, they went to the hospital. It was like, I could not sleep at night. I couldn't function. I couldn't think a whole sentence. Every time I'm thinking, I hear screaming I hear something screaming in my head. So it's usually when it's a psychotic type breakdown thing, like we said, trauma, stress, but makes you go overboard. And it's like, okay, I need to go to the hospital. I need help. But a lot of people not even diagnosed. Because like you said, they think it's normal.
So with that, I don't mean to cut you off, bro.
But, you good? Go ahead.
With that, I know they say that after they got the hospital, right, that's when they see the clinical psychologist.
Yes, we have a psychologist that works with us. Yes.
Yeah, and then when they see that psychologist, I think they go through the DSM-5, right? They use the DSM-5, and through that use of DSM-5, then they look at the criteria. And once you check off certain criteria, then that's when they kind of come up with that diagnosis, I think, at that point. You know what I'm saying? But I know, you know what I'm saying, I feel like, we talking about, like, in a way, like you said, don't isolate, because we don't want to isolate those people. I feel like it changes your mindset when you look at yourself as those people. We are normal in our own way. We create a normal. You know what I'm saying? We all got these mental issues that we battle with, but as we become more mature adults, more wise, more understanding, we gain empathy. I feel like we all got traits of some of the things that we see people getting, medicated for. And I learned that, like, Dre, you probably learned that working with your clientele. When I was a mental health professional, bro, I felt so much more of an appreciation for just the willpower some of these people had, bro. Like, to be able to, like, day to day just deal with just crazy stuff. Like, if you lose your mom, your dad, your son, your sister all in 2 years, like, you might be exhibiting some of these qualities as well. So it's like, you can't look at people like, you know what I'm saying, or they hearing voices, so they punching at the sign, they crazy. shoot, you lose them people that you love the most in your social circle, bro. You might be punching at a sign too. And I think that, you know, the grounding part we talking about, you having a playlist of things to go to helps, because you may not have that one traumatic experience that like tips you overboard, but you may have a couple of things that happen in the morning that may have set off your day to whereas now at the end of your day, now you can't even kiss your baby. You so damn mad at everything. So it's like, I think it's important to have a playlist, like have like a list of things you go to, or, you know, just having cues. Like I finally got on James Clear's Atomic Habits because of Nate. I watched the overview of the book. I didn't read it yet, but he was talking about how you need cues to start every habit. So you need a cue, and that cue, I think, is tied to a desire or something like that. It's like a whole he created this whole like list. But I think sometimes when it comes to bad situations, bad feelings, if you cue yourself up for something positive, like if you start drinking water when you get in a bad mood, maybe it'll set you up for a more positive outlook if you tie affirmations to drinking water. Stuff like that. Like you gotta just kind of trick your brain sometimes with just activities, like little activities that are tied to other things.
Yeah. Because even, I mean, like depression, a lot of people won't leave the house. Like you just said, you can tie fresh air to life or something. Like, hey, breathe in some fresh air. It gives you life. It gives you positivity. It gives you positive affirmations or something. So it's just something you can tie into. And that's what we do. We try to bring in positive. Because like you said, the isolation is sometimes the family is still alive and they just kicked them out and they're living in a group home and nobody's coming to visit them. And it's like, dang, I have a family, but they don't even care about me because I have a mental illness. So it's tough, man.
And look at how many of our family members is in prison behind bars. You know what I'm saying? Black men 8 times more likely to make it in prison than every other race. So it's like looking at that, like, hey, how many of our family members went to prison isolated, created mental health illnesses while they were in prison? Then they had maybe they either came out or they was still interacting with us, and then we end up getting secondhand trauma from some of the stuff that we, you know what I'm saying, have gone through with that experience. And that's a lot of people. Like it's like there's just a lot of things that could set you off. So you gotta have practices, you gotta have routines, you gotta have something. Or is you out here religion's big, because I know everybody don't believe in God, but God is what's pulling people out of the darkest places when you're looking at, you know, people that have a very strong religious base. So it's like you gotta have something. You gotta have something.
Yes, sir.
But
What, so you ain't got nothing?
I really don't, because I think what you're talking about from a clinical standpoint, and then people who are not clinically diagnosed or who don't even need to be clinically diagnosed are two completely different things. I can't tell you nothing on the clinical side of stuff. That's what y'all are here for. For normal people, it's reality, bro. It's like come back to reality. And I think you should be able to have those conversations with yourself where if it's you're drawing from past experience, past negative traumas, whatever it is it happening right now? Or did it happen in the past? What do you want your future to be? Like, these are the thoughts that I would have. These are the thoughts that I kind of have for myself. But I mean, I can't put that on everybody else. So like sometimes y'all get me to be quiet. Because I mean, really, because I don't want to be offensive to people who are really dealing with stuff. Because a lot of times my answer on most things is think your way through it and use some kind of logic. I think some of these things can derail your logic. One of the main things, like when we were looking this up earlier and kind of talking about this before we got on, delusions, right? Hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, lack of motivation, a change in sleeping patterns, poor grooming or hygiene, and changes in body language. Some of the other stuff, if you lose like your movement ability, you lose sleep patterns, things like that, well, I can't tell you nothing about that. Delusions, think about it. Like, am I Jay-Z? Okay, show me your driver's license that says Sean Carter on there. Like, whatever it is. Like, I think delusions can be overcome. I think for some people, it's not necessarily the need for a full mental health diagnosis. It's just take your head out your butt sometimes and think. But I don't mean to say that in a rude way. I mean to say that in a, you have to be your own advocate, right? You have to take care of you, right?
You're right.
Let's go.
In some instances, some people will go to the hospital and act crazy to get the diagnosis, to get
a check,
a Social Security check.
So
you are right.
You might be getting a check.
There's a
it might be
spectrum.
so you can get some different
you are
drugs.
right.
It might be whatever. Like it's if you got something that's really going on, right? People who really are having these issues. When I worked at Rock House back in the day, that's not something you can control, bro.
Right.
It's not. That's not something that anybody can, no matter what kind of grounding techniques we have, it might help, but we can't control that for real. If you a person who's having a hard time in life, I think you can do some things to pull yourself out of that. And I think it starts with your mindset, with bringing yourself into reality of saying, just because one bad thing happened, that's not the outcome for the rest of life, whatever it is. So I'm always more on the side of what are you going to do to get out of it until we get to the point that it is actually clinical.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets to that point where it's real bad, where it's clinical, then obviously you need professional help. As with anything that gets out of your control, sometimes in every realm of life, we need professional help. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do your taxes, you get a tax preparer. You can't do anything, say can't build your house up, you go get construction workers. It's like I think you always have professionals that really do this, like so you can get that help. But there's always something you can do. And that's why when we were talking about this when I was talking about with Jarrell, like the practical part of counseling and helping, there's always a non-medical solution. There's always something we can do to help you because you have to take control to some degree. Now, you may not have control of most of the situation, almost all of it, but at least if you can do that one thing that just creates that peace for you, or it lets you know you are a real person. You know what I'm saying? Go to the fair, hang out, be with family. That brings your control back, even if not for a moment.
What was the movie? Inception, where they had to like spin the little top or something.
Yep.
It's like if it keeps spinning, this is a dream. If not, this is reality. Like,
yeah,
I think things like that are real for people. Like, have something that you can go back to and let yourself know what happened, but this is right now. Live in the now. Don't live in the past. Don't live too far in the future. You have to be grounded right now. So,
bro, I just noticed I had a skeleton behind me. Shout out to Corey. It's my brother.
Oh, I see that.
You ready for Halloween?
You looked at that door like someone was finna get you.
I'm looking at
he thought about the skeleton.
Yeah, I'm looking at the skeleton. Okay. I guess.
I was about to ask you some questions.
Some questions.
No
questions. I know nothing.
They tell him to spin the top.
Pinch yourself.
Something.
Smacking myself. Well, I mean, maybe somebody else needs to pinch himself. Colin Kaepernick, man. Let's talk about.
Speaking of delusion,
the delusion. Delusions. You want to let everybody know. Let everybody know, Nate. You know a little more than I do. Let everybody know what's going on with Mr. Colin Kaepernick and why we think he may be the dummy of the week.
He's making a joke out of himself, dog. Like at one point, I would have said, I respect you trying to go and do something to make a change and all of that. Cool. You get to the point that you call the NFL a slave ship and it's compared to a slave auction and all of this. That would make me think I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a slave. I've never really seen a free man say, oh, you know what, massa? I sure do miss that field. I miss the field, boss. So what are you doing, bro? I feel this way about it because at this point, what is the message that you're sending out here? What's your message? I was so against this. I want change. I want this and that. I got broke off, but I'm still just using my name to keep going back out there and doing the same thing. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of hearing about this bum quarterback. He wasn't even good. It was 2017. The last time you played.
That's a stretch.
Give it a rest. Please, Kaepernick. Please. That's my one dummy of the week. My other dummy of the week What's this man's name? Let me look this man's name back up. Jamal Bowman. What is he? A senator or whatever he is? What are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you do?
This man go on camera, pull the fire alarm before they go and vote about shutting down the government or whatever it was, right? That's what you do? How dumb are we that these are the people who represent us?
Bro, they childish though. They be doing some childish stuff. Bro, you ain't watched it. Hey, no, for real, bro. You be seeing the debates, like you seen the Republican debate, man. They had them up there, man, running against each other, debating. They just be like,
they making jokes about Trump, and he ain't even there.
Right, like also bro. Like, all right, children now, like type, you know what I'm saying? He be like, bro, y'all grown.
Bro, like, I don't ever try to make nothing political on here. But at some point, I want y'all to just stop and think about who represents you. These are the people that at some point, and I am going to tell you the truth. It wasn't me who voted for him. So you voted this man in to represent you. And this is what he does. To me, it's like, come on, you got to be smarter than that. If you want to delay or whatever, it's got to be better ways. But, bro, you on camera. You in a government building, one of the most official government buildings. You think it ain't cameras everywhere? You can't tell me you ain't stupid. That's flat out dumb.
Valid. That's valid. I cannot argue with any of those points.
I just want people to do better.
So with that being said, why y'all keep doing these things we don't know? But what we do know is every time you do them, we will highlight them here on the Be Like Podcast.
Every time.
so we do that. With that, in closing, how are we going to be able to help ourselves and our fan base unlock their lights? Because we know it's hard out here, man. It's negative in this world. It's a lot of dead energy, a lot of low frequencies. I had a student the other day ask me, Mr. Sloan, you just like all this positivity. Why you always in such a good mood? Like, why you always gotta, this is annoying sometimes. I said, to me, the way I feel like we really unlock our lights is if we live a life of life. And I feel like we have to really find a way to stop seeing the negative sides of things and think that that's going to end up feeding us and getting us where we want to go. Like, bro, you can be as negative as you want to be. I'm a realist. That's why I can rock with what Nate talks about. I'm a realist. I can really see the world for what it is. But at the end of the day, the only thing I can control is me. So I prohibit myself to be the best self I can be when I can't appreciate sunlight. You know what I'm saying? I can't appreciate water. I can't appreciate breath. I don't appreciate phone calls from people I care about. So I would say that appreciation is a lost art. It's a simple thing, but it's crazy how far away we've gotten from appreciation, which is why I think we got so many of these soft kids in sports nowadays. I'm watching. I'm like, they don't appreciate even playing this game like they once did. They're just playing it to be playing it. Maybe daddy got them playing, mommy got them playing. They try to make them proud, but they don't like the game like that. Let them go be in Robotics Club. Let them go be cheerleaders. Let them go be whatever else they want to do. Stop forcing these people to do stuff that you are in charge of, and now they're embarrassing what this was originally created for. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like embarrassing all of us, you know what I'm saying? We look at it like, what am I looking at? But they don't appreciate it. The appreciation is gone. So appreciate more.
Appreciation is a big word, man. Have y'all ever seen that video of the dude? I don't even know if it's a real video or not, but dude say, I'm gangster in the mud. But it's a rainbow, cuz. That's beautiful. I can stop and appreciate the rainbow, cuz. Like,
you gotta appreciate. Stop and smell the roses, bro. I like that.
That's real.
Yeah. What's y'all's thoughts on that? How we gonna unlock the light? How we unlocking the light?
Try.
Swift arrives at MetLife Stadium.
Huh?
That's the notification I just got. Taylor Swift arrives at MetLife Stadium.
Well, let's appreciate that.
She's here.
She's
here, folks.
Gotta bring that other fan base in. It's money out there.
Man,
gotta bring the fan base in.
Man,
unlock your light by trying, though, man. That's really all it is. Like, your light might not be the brightest light in the world, but it's on and it can help. Any kind of light go illuminate in the dark. right? So try.
Yeah, I rock with it.
And as much as you can, respect others. Be nice to other people because you don't know what they're going through, and it can also help you. Demarcus knows about this place, but I rent cars from a place. I was just nice to the person that was at the desk every day. In about 2 months, he was like, "Hey, I'm the owner's grandson," and now he basically gives me my rental cars for like $10, $20 a day sometimes because I didn't know who he was at the time. But I was just cool. I mean, I'm walking in. I had a cowboy shirt on. We talk. We chop it up. I rent cars from there all the time, but you never know who you're talking to. So hey, respect others. Be nice to everybody as much as you can. Because I know some rude people out there. You just push them away. But people try to be nice. Try to respect others. So,
That's assault.
push them out of your life. Push them out of your life.
You Oliver, but anybody listening, I can second what Jarrell's saying and say it's fact because he good everywhere. So he is good literally everywhere. There's nowhere Jarrell's not good. So y'all definitely should listen to what he's saying. I've seen it go to work. I've seen it at work. But
that's the best way you can move through life, man.
Yeah, for real.
Treat the janitor with the same respect as the CEO, whatever the saying he's saying. Right?
Yeah.
People are people, man. Your title don't mean that's the kind of respect that you deserve. You a person, you deserve respect.
And when it comes to morals, man, you can't take your title to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you are a continuously demonstrated dummy. In that case, I might handle you a little different.
I handle them a little different. We need to have a dummy university, dummy camp.
Dummy, I don't realize what dummy camp is for me.
DeMarcus, how we unlocking the light, bro?
I think all put it together. I don't think we realize what we're doing, but every light illuminates a bit of darkness. Darkness can cover the world. So if you are illuminating your light, you bring a light to the world. We get back to bringing light to this world. It may sound cliche as all outdoors, but we will make this world a better place. Keep turning your light off. If y'all listen to the whole thing, if not, go back and listen to it. Isolation is a form of turning your light off. So yes, you need your quiet time, your time with yourself, your time with your God, meditation, all that. But if you turn your light off, all it is not only hurting you, it's hurting the environment that you can light up.
That's facts. So we trying to light y'all's environments with real light. Make sure you guys subscribe to Light. Make sure you guys reach out to us. Make sure you guys do all the things in your life that you need to do because we can't do it.
Chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
It's OU week.
Go horn.
It's OU week.
Red River Shootout. I got y'all by 50 because OU seem like they don't really got defense. I don't think they play defense. So that's just what I see.
Florida doesn't either, but at least we look nice.
Y'all be fast too. So y'all at least y'all fast and not playing defense. Like you're running side by side with the guy catching the touchdown. They step to step together. Touchdown.
Go Bucks. Go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Go Marvin Harrison Jr. Bye week, so I ain't even talking this week.
And Deion lost this week too. Deion lost.
He's supposed to.
That was a good win.
He lost by a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a good loss.
Like you said, get me now because this is as bad as we gonna be. I believe in what Prime doing, man.
Yeah, me too. All right, brothers.